Well, welcome back, collectors. Today, I'd like to welcome Dean from Massabesic Numismatics. How are you, Dean?
I'm doing well.
I appreciate you doing this. We both, you've seen us both on the Currency Roundtable discussions over on Polar Currencies channel. But something you might not be aware of is that Dean and I are both coin collectors that
Mhm.
started collecting currency sort of almost as an afterthought, or at least I was. Um, so we thought it might be fun to sit down and discuss why we did this and talk about some of the differences we have noticed in the two collecting spheres, if you will. So let me just say up front before we start, this is not to say that one is better than the other.
Right, right.
We're just trying to point out some of the differences and, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So, Dean, how long have you been collecting coins?
So it's kind of hard to gauge, but if I had to say it, I would say 2011. That's when I started actually spending money on coins, like actually
Right,
buying coins.
right,
Before that, a little before that, I was just taking coins out of circulation.
right,
So
right.
yeah, so probably yeah, right around 2011.
Okay. So not quite 15 years.
No,
Do you collect anything else?
not really. When I was a kid, I was a collector of other things, but today I really only focus on coins and currency.
Right, right. I'm the same way, just coins and currency. I've been doing it a little bit longer, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started,
yeah.
yeah, I started, first coin show I went to was 1968, so almost
Wow.
a year or so. Um, you know, a long time, a long
Yeah,
time. Seen a lot of change. So,
yeah.
um, what inspired you to start collecting currency?
So what really inspired me to collect both coins and currency was my mother. She was a collector of both when she was living in Canada. And then right around, it was actually when I started getting into actually buying some coins. She just said, "Hey, why don't you just have my collection? You can go through it, take care of it. You become the caretaker of them now." So she literally just handed over tons and tons of Canadian coins, Canadian currency, some American stuff as well. My dad had dabbled a little bit in US coins, so he gave me a lot of coins as well. And so that really is what just really got me going with the collecting and wanting to know more, especially about currency, because currency was a little foreign to me. There wasn't a lot of information, at least in my experience, that I could find out there. Most everything I could find readily available was on coins.
Yeah,
Um,
right,
so that's really what led me into that collecting more and more of coins and currency for sure.
right.
Yeah,
I think for me, as I said, I've been a coin collector for so long, for over 50 years. Frankly, I was just ready for a change. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
still love coins, but I just kind of got a little tired of collecting them. Uh,
yeah,
and collecting, and we'll get into this some more later, has changed a lot in that time,
yeah,
needless to say. Uh,
yeah, for sure.
Dan asking me to join the round table, which I appreciate so much, also encouraged me to focus more on currency. Um,
Yeah,
being a part of that's a great experience, and I learn something new every time we record one of those things.
yeah, exactly.
And I
No,
think
it's
for
so
me,
true.
yeah, and I think for me too, I just like art, and large banknotes to me are just like little pieces of art, for your pocket, or something.
Yeah, it's
You-
true. There is a lot more. Well, I don't want to say artistry because coins are nice too, but I
Yes,
find with vignettes you can get more of a story than
yes,
just a profile,
right.
if that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah,
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 well, that's true. And colors on currency.
that's also true. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, how does collecting currency differ from collecting coins?
Hmm. I think there's a lot that's similar,
Yeah,
and then there's a lot of stuff that just really is different altogether. Like Dan's done a great job on his channel. Other folks out there has as well to talk about the grading scales, that they're just completely different, even though that they use the same
Right.
numbers and terms, or I shouldn't say terms, but the same scale.
Same 70
Um,
point scale. Yeah.
exactly, it's just really completely different.
Yeah.
That's been a learning curve for me. It'll
Oh,
always
yeah.
probably be a learning curve for me. Was is the grading scale. Um, Also, just the we I think we've talked about this before. When it comes to like a cleaned coin, people, most coin collectors are like, absolutely not. I don't want to have
Right.
anything to do with that unless it's a super rare coin. But still, they'll still try to find the nicer, not details coin. While with currency, I find a lot of people they don't really mind. They'll go for
Right.
that. They'll buy it. So I think it's just perception there as well.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
definitely that.
yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Most currency looks great in a grade of even 30,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
but not true with coins, you know.
right.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't look terrible, but
right.
most collectors don't want a collection of nothing but, VF30 coins.
Exactly. Yeah. You want a little luster.
Right, exactly. Because it's
Yeah,
obviously two different things.
yeah,
Another thing I've noticed is currency generally is so much rarer generally than coin.
yeah,
There's just
yeah,
not near as much of it. I mean, a lot of banknotes, Friedberg numbers, if you're a currency collector, you know what I mean when I say that.
yeah,
Uh, there are less than 100 notes for many Friedberg numbers known. So
yeah,
coins, my goodness, if that were coins,
yeah.
it would be astronomically expensive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
No, it's so true. Yeah.
and I think that goes back to another thing that's different is obviously there are a lot fewer currency collectors than there are coin collectors. Is
Yeah, I think that's true too. Yeah.
the community is much smaller.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed also, most, and again, not a put down, just an observation. Most currency collectors are type collectors.
Yep.
They get, for example, they get a nice Black Eagle note. They're fine. They're ready to move on to the next type,
That's right. Yeah.
which is that's fine. I'm kind of that way. But I've never met a coin collector that said, "Well, gee, I have a nice Morgan dollar. I don't need another one."
Right.
That's just not that's just
Yeah.
not how it works. So,
Yeah, and I don't really know why that is so much. The only thing I could think of was kind of like how coin collecting is like marketed. Like you get a book and it has all these
right,
empty holes and you're
right,
to find all the dates and the mint marks and put them in. While with currency, there's really not an item out there that's
true,
sold that way that says, hey, put this Black Eagle with these signatures or this whatever the difference is in there. So,
right,
I think that's a little bit of it, but
right,
it's true. And even, I just going back to the rarity of notes too, like we were talking about last night, one of the major differences between, or at least I've observed with coin collectors and currency collectors, if it is super, super rare, it doesn't really matter. Like to your point, they just want an example. So rather than spending a huge amount of money on something that's rare, they might just get the cheaper version of it.
right,
While with coin collectors, I think that's true for the folks who can't afford it. But if it is super rare and there's a lot of money in pockets, there's
right.
going to be several people going for that really rare
Oh,
coin. Yeah,
absolutely. I think with coins, well, I think what you're talking about is also there are more things like key dates
yeah,
and of course even grade rarities in
yep,
coins. Certain
yep,
coins are much rarer and high grade. You don't run into
exactly.
that in currency, really.
Not that I've seen, so please, somebody put in
Right.
the comments if I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
If we're wrong, tell us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell us because
absolutely. Not that I'm
yeah,
aware of.
yeah. I've never
Not
really seen too many people caring about that,
no,
unless
no.
it's more of those modern, notes that have super high grades. But even then, I don't really see that. That's a very small group
Right,
of people. Yeah,
right. That would be, yeah. Um, I'm not sure where fancy serial numbers would fit in there. Maybe,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
maybe a more focused
Yeah. Again, smaller
niche,
group of people for sure.
niche. I never did know it was
Yeah.
niche or niche, but anyway. Um,
I think both is correct.
yeah, okay. Well, potato, potato, I guess.
Exactly.
Um, and that all of that kind of leads into the next question is how has collecting changed over the last 25 years or so? I'll throw this out. The first thing I've noticed, all this information at our fingertips, the
Yeah.
internet. I can remember when, the grading manual from the ANA had drawings in it,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
didn't even have pictures. Um,
Yeah.
which, by the way, that's a great book. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to learn to use, rather to learn how to grade, but doesn't tell you a whole lot about luster or how to spot cleaning or anything like that. Admittedly, that's not what that book was designed to do. But the point I'm trying to make is in, 50 years ago, that kind of information just wasn't readily available.
Right. Yeah.
You had to learn it standing in front of a dealer or another collector that was willing to teach you.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Because I would imagine 25 years ago or even 50 years ago, you would either join a club
Yeah,
or you would subscribe to some sort of coin world or something like that.
Coin World,
Um,
that was it.
or, or like you said, a dealer, a trusted dealer.
Right. Yeah, one you
Um,
trust. Yeah.
yeah, but today there's forums, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, Instagram,
Everywhere.
just everywhere. Yeah, and lots of different subscriptions if you want, and then lots and lots of books. And yeah, that's what I was going to say too is the grading, or I should say the emphasis on grading has become even, with the grading companies and with the scale, like you were saying the other day, how in the '60s, really, when you first started collecting, that there really wasn't a huge gap, or there with the or how should I say this? There wasn't so many little tiny variants in the grade. And I actually found my father's book from 1965, the Handbook for the United States of Coins with Premium Lists. And this is from R.S. Yeoman. So
Yeah.
he talks about the conditions of coins, and he wrote, these are the grades. This is it: fair, good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, uncirculated, proof. That's it.
Yeah. That's
That
it.
was it. That
That's
was
it.
it. And then the ANA that you're talking about, at least I think it's the one you're talking about, the one that was printed in 1977.
Yep.
Yeah, the gray one.
Yep.
Yeah. So just think about this. Just 12 years later, now they're starting to break things down into more grades, and they talk about MS70 as the perfect
Right.
uncirculated, then MS65 choice uncirculated, and then Mint State 60 uncirculated. So
Right.
just thinking about, today we have we even have pluses,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh,
And they even broke down the circulating grades. I won't go through them all, but I
right.
can send you a picture of them. You can put them up
Yeah.
because it's just funny in that short amount of time, 1965 to 1977, they were getting even more concise. And then I don't know if you have this one, Ontario, the newest one from the ANA with the actual photos. This book
I've
here,
seen it. I've seen it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So this one I bought because I recommend it to a lot of different people. But this one, yeah, it breaks down
Yeah.
every single grade of what a Mint State 70,
Right.
69, 68. So it's just kind of funny how that short amount of time of collecting and grading that you know,
Right.
it's just changed so much, especially since, like as you said, when you first started out.
It's changed dramatically. And
Yeah,
and I mean I like it. I'm not complaining. It's
yeah,
just one of those things that I love the pictures where you can
yeah,
look at the different grades. That helps a
yeah,
lot. Um, Coin collecting, for example, years ago was a very, I would say, undercapitalized hobby. But it's not true now. But
Right.
and dealers were very protective of their customers. And if
Yeah.
you think about it, they had to be
Yeah.
because they didn't have the information or the ability to reach out through social media and find new customers. So they found a customer, it really, and I don't mean this as criticism, but there was no reason for them to tell you there'd be a show in town next week,
Yeah.
and because they didn't want you to go and meet another dealer and then they might lose the business. I get that. Anyway, that's certainly changed. Yeah, the third party grading companies, I think it's, for all that we often, and me included, complain about them, they've brought a lot to the hobby. They've
Yeah.
made it a lot more understandable, probably safer, you know.
Yeah, well, like you were saying before, how a lot of AU coins and a lot of writers, a lot of numismatic writers talk about it. A lot of AU coins get passed off as mint-state coins.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or they used to, I should
They
say.
used to. They used to.
Yeah,
That's what
not so much now.
no. But that was something that happened, and some of that could have been quite honest, honest mistakes. It could have been just lack of understanding by the dealer that was selling them too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's certainly certainly took place.
yeah.
Um, uh, One of the things we see so much today, not as much in currency, but in coins, you see so many counterfeit coins and
Hmm.
counterfeit slabs. Both the coin and the slab.
Yeah.
That's very alarming.
Yeah, I think it just kind of goes with the territory when people get excited for certain dates or certain types of coins. And people are looking for them in the holders. Um,
Yeah,
and they don't know, it's very easy to kind of get duped, if you will. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Especially with the modern stuff, like the modern bullion coins that get graded. I think
Yeah.
that's where
Oh,
you see a
yeah.
lot of those fake ones, but yeah.
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 That's another
Yeah,
whole
with
discussion.
currency, I don't really, yeah, I don't really see it at all.
No, no, I haven't. I mean, again, please let us know in the comments. Have
Yeah.
you ever encountered as a currency collector? Have you ever encountered a fake slab or counterfeit note? I mean, I know there are counterfeits that are identified as counterfeits. So,
Yes.
well, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm talking about. But I mean, a rare note that's been counterfeited. I haven't
Yeah.
heard
I've
about
never,
seen
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, Certainly don't want to give anybody any ideas, but that's. I think it's a little. I think that's a little harder to do with currency. Oh,
Yeah, I think it would be. I know that there's printers today that can print certain things, but I think the paper is one of the hardest things to fake, and then to try to put it into a slab. I don't
yeah.
know. It doesn't seem to get. I don't know if there'd be so many people interested in a rare note uh, that could be taken. Because if you're interested in those rare notes, you
Yes.
already know what they should look like.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And it would
yeah,
have to go through too many educated hands,
right,
both
yeah,
the auction house and the person buying it to
exactly,
be
yeah,
successful. Yeah.
yeah. But it's a good point, though. We should always be on the lookout for things that just don't seem right.
Something. Yeah. Exactly. If it doesn't look right, don't do it. Don't buy it.
Yeah. But getting back to currency though, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun to collect, and I do find that I'm certainly more confident because of the books, because of the roundtable, watching other social media around currency that I do feel more confident to purchase. I'm assuming you feel the same way.
Yes.
I know you do a lot of research online.
Yes.
With different what's the one you use that
Tracking price.
track and price?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where they,
yeah,
yeah, keep or will try to determine survivor rates,
yeah.
that kind of
But
thing.
that's good research though. It kind of also kind of if you're into rarity, it can kind of point you in the
Yeah.
right direction.
That's a very good
Yeah,
product. They also track the auctions. So you can
yeah,
actually look up something and see, if you're interested on a Black Eagle, you can see what
Yeah,
they're selling for.
exactly.
Important. Very important. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Dean, thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
We hope you folks enjoyed this little conversation. Perhaps you would like to share some of your own experiences or thoughts in the comments. We certainly would enjoy reading them. And while you're down there, if you would take a moment to like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe, and thanks for stopping by.